This week, it's the original rude boy, Neville Staple, and his partner and manager, Christine Staple. This is Anyone Can Play Guitar, the podcast for musicians and music lovers that takes you behind the scenes of the music industry. This week is brought to you in partnership with MGR Music. Ever wanted to learn an instrument, hone your skills, or pick up something completely new? You can get so far by yourself, however professional guidance can make all the difference. With a network of tutors right across the UK and rates starting from as little as £15 per hour, visit mgrmusic.com now to get started. Hello and welcome to episode 70 for our chat with Neville Staple, the original rude boy, and Christine Staple, with me James and him Ben. 70 episodes, Ben.
I cannot add them and believe it.
7 to the 0. That's a lot of episodes.
It is. It shouldn't be sniffed at.
Who'd have thunked it?
For someone.
Someone always thinks it's
someone like, oh, I'm not going to get to 70 episodes. Last week we were with the Blinders. He has a little snippet.
Being from South Yorkshire, I want to be like an Arctic Monkeys kind of tribute band, if you like. I think that's maybe the only thing we've sort of ever
sat down.
Well, even so, you still kind of get the label as
that
anyway. Do you know what I mean? It's always that kind of natural influence anyway. So.
And this week we're with Neville and Christine Staple, talking about touring again. That popped up, and festivals, because they love a festival, and we talk about a bit about.
They love everything. That's one of the things I love about them, that they love everything.
They loved this interview. They loved chatting to us. It was brilliant. And I was like, you were in the specials. Do you know this?
I think he does know that.
Yeah, he definitely does. We spoke about the specials at one point. And again, talking about forming a band.
And one of my favourite parts that is coming up is when he, in so much correct you, but made very clear.
Yes.
That he is the original rude boy.
He is the original rude boy.
Give me some rude boy facts.
Some rude boy facts. Well, this fact's brilliant. He's the first Jamaican we've had on the podcast.
Is that a stat as well as
maybe
it's just a fact.
One of the things I like about Neville is he did a Bob Mortimer basically. He was a roadie for the specials. Decided one night just to get on stage, and the rest is history. He was with the specials for a while, then formed with Terry Hall from the specials, Funboy Free, and now he has his own band, the Neville Staple Band, which tour endlessly. And
you've got to love it to tour and gig as much as they do.
Totally, and they do love it. And one of the guests on this episode is Christine Staple, who is Neville's wife, but also manager.
Keeps him in check.
And does she ever? She also runs Scarmouth, which is a ska festival down south. I met them both at the Boiler Shop, which is a relatively new venue in Newcastle, which was George Stevenson's workshop for the Rocket steam train. Our friend,
I do like steam trains.
I do. Me too.
They're a sad miss.
Bygone era. Our friend Mark, who does all our design work for the website and any images you see, also worked in that building before it became Boiler Shop.
Just a little plug there for if you do happen to like any of our artwork, logos, imagery, all thanks to Mark. You can find out more about his stuff at meandalan.cc.
Just go have a look.
Yeah, great designer.
Tell him we sent you. Thank you to Neville and Christine. So I would say Neville and Neville's management Christine, but obviously she was a guest as well.
I think you've made that clear.
I have. And Shauna from the PR company. So enjoy the episode.
Remember, a great way to support the show is to go on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts and give us a rating and a review. It really does make a massive difference for the show. Now, on with the episode.
So I'm here at the Newcastle Boiler Shop, which is the old George Stephenson building with Neville Staple and Sugary Staple.
No, the original rude boy Neville.
Sorry.
Let's get that right.
Yeah, that's right. I was going to say I've interviewed so many people and I never thought I'd interview yourself so soon in our run.
That's fine.
So I catch you on tour with the Undertones. How is that going at the moment?
Well, it's brilliant. A great bunch of lads. We get on pretty well. And the tour's been going great so far.
So you've known them for a while?
Well, I have from, shall I say, the punk days.
Yeah.
And that's going back a couple of years ago.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
And I've been a fan of theirs for years.
Yeah.
And we've been to a lot of festivals with them in the past. I've always got on great with the guys. They're a great bunch of fellas and great musicians. So it's a really good collaboration, actually.
Yeah.
Great tour. It's been amazing.
It's been great.
So when I look at your on social media and stuff, you seem to be touring all the time. How do you find touring?
Well, I find it kind of relaxing, believe it or not.
Okay.
I just love being on stage. I love entertaining, and the more shows, the better. Sugar will explain, we do a lot, and I love it.
Yeah, we do. We're touring internationally again, all across the UK, Europe. We're going Mexico, probably Venezuela later on. There's loads of other stuff. We've recently done Hong Kong, Australia in the last couple of years.
I remember we've got Madrid next.
Yeah, Madrid, Italy.
Yeah.
There's loads going on, loads and loads going on. But to be honest, at home, Neville gets jittery if he's not touring. So he loves being on the road, and it's even better for him because he's got the wife on tour with him.
There you go.
All that later on,
Yeah.
So what are the so like new bands obviously or new solo artists will be coming out all the time and touring might seem scary. What are the best and worst things about touring, but also what's the best way of reducing those stressful moments or whatever it might be?
Okay, the stressful moments when I first started, you think, great, but let's try and do this, try and do that. But you've got to think of what's going to happen later, the publishing, what you're going to give away, what you're going to sign away. So it starts really from the nitty gritty. Sugar, what do you...
Yeah, I agree. So be careful what you sign. But in relation to your question with touring itself, I think the main thing is enjoy what you're doing, know your craft. There's no point in going on a stage and not know what you're doing. You've got to look confident and comfortable.
I'm not frightened,
yes,
or think,
and having fun with it, because otherwise people will reflect on that. If you're having fun and you just go for it, then trust me, even if you're the worst singer or musician in the world, people will enjoy it with you. They really will.
Yeah, once you're having fun.
Yeah.
And our band, Neville Staple band, if you see the band, you can see everybody having fun on stage.
Yeah.
It's like a family on stage. We have a laugh.
We do.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's other bands I've been in, it's been regimental. With this band, everybody has a say. Like I say, they enjoy themselves on stage, which you can see.
Yeah.
I think that is it, isn't it? If you've got a band, that's some advice there. Have a band that you get on, your mates, you have fun together, know each other, have the banter and all the rest of it. Because if you've got even one in a band that's not enjoying themselves, or they're miserable, or they're in a bad mood, it can spoil the whole performance.
Yeah. It doesn't work.
Yeah. And I'm guessing my next question was, but you kind of answered it, that live still has the same appeal now as it did back in
even better now, because we're playing a lot to youngsters who heard the music from their dad, so it makes it quite exciting. It makes it quite exciting, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it does. I think the young crowd coming up, and when we see this young audience out there mixed with the older guys and our ages, it's brilliant. I love it. The fact that it's still spreading and there's still people out there. Also, the live is best because people are getting an individual experience on that night. All of our shows are different in one way. We might have the same set list, but there's always going to be that difference, that song that might go longer because they're loving it, the fans singing along, we might stretch out the song. Neville will go round and round with something if they're loving it.
If the crowd's loving it.
Why think, oh no, we've got to get on to the next song if they're enjoying that one? Keep going, have fun. That was the only thing you didn't have before, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Before the other bands, thank you. That's why the wife looks. Make sure you do that. Yeah, the other bands I've been in, the previous bands which you know of, it was 3.5 minutes. That was it.
Right.
Not even when the crowd enjoying it and want more. Yeah. That's it. 3.5 minutes, you're done. Yeah. But like Sugar says, with this band, once we see the crowd getting into it, or the fans are it,
I'll be dancing along. Never might toast along, something new for them. It's always a different experience.
Yes, and they'll sing along as well.
Yeah,
I think that's great. That we used to try and do that ourselves as well, because there's no better feeling when something's just clicking right. And sometimes, and I'm not saying that you're not polished, but when the band's too polished.
We don't like to be too polished. No, you're right. You're absolutely right. Too polished, you might as well just put the CD on.
Yeah, exactly.
Go and buy the album, and we want you to buy the album as well. Don't get me wrong. But have the album and then come and see what it's really like live.
Yeah, of course.
Because live, tonight might be just like you said. Tonight might do an extra verse. Next night we might do an extra 2 verse or cut it short.
Swap verses round sometimes. Just have fun with it.
Yeah. Like well-known songs that I've been doing for a while. We change it up with this band. Yeah, we change it up. To make it different.
Fresh. Yeah. So the last time I saw you, and I'm still thinking about live here, was a festival, the Corbridge Festival. It was a couple of years ago now.
Yeah.
And that was a perfect day when the sun just hits right, and it was a really nice atmosphere. Are festivals still? Does it still got an appeal for you in the band?
Yeah.
And if so, why?
I'll tell you why I love doing festival, because we get to play with a lot of but in front of a lot of young fans who's in the club, they can't get in the club. So festival, that's why I love playing festivals, because we get all the young audience.
Yeah, we get a different crowd, don't we? Because you've got your set shows like this tonight, where it's going to be your fans there, so you're going to have a great time, party time. But if you go to a festival and then they're loving you, and sometimes these are crowds that would never normally be listening to you, so it's great to spread your wings. Go out there and let new people hear you, and new families.
Yeah, and that's another thing about it. I've just loved doing festivals as well.
Yeah, festivals are lovely.
Oh, yeah,
great outdoors as well when we're outdoor festivals.
Especially when the sun's out.
Yeah.
I like that 4 to 7 o'clock spot. I don't know why.
Yes,
that's a good spot. That's a good spot.
Yeah. So, how do you approach festivals? I know you've just kind of touched on it there compared to like a gig tonight. Do you go for more hit? Or do you go for, I'm going to throw a little cheeky new one in, or whatever it might be, or B-side?
Yeah, we'll put some new ones in as well. Even when we're doing like gigs like this tonight, we would put some new ones in. It's just like we just mix it up.
Yeah, we still mix it up. We would still give them, the same kind of experience, because normally they're restricted to an hour, and some shows are. Sometimes we get longer. But at festivals, you do tend to, you will put all the hits in there.
Yeah.
But also, we throw in some of our popular other songs, because there's some solo songs of Neville's. There's some collaborated ones with me on the new latest album. We've got Rude Rebels, Judge Roughneck, Star Crazy. They're just recent albums that everyone knows. The crowd still know and sing along. Yeah. And a lot of these festivals, people will go to that festival literally because they know the Neville Staple band. Which
and
is
that's
nice
why I
as
like it as well when the kids are playing in front of kids who's never, like I said, they won't be able to come into clubs. They won't be able to get into clubs, but they get to see you.
Yes.
Oh, Dad was talking about them, Mum was talking about them. All the songs.
That's the family festivals. There's some that are not family festival. They're 18 and above, but they're good fun as well, because you can be a bit more raw.
A bit more daring,
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
This week is brought to you in partnership with MGR Music. Ever wanted to learn an instrument, hone your skills, or pick up something completely new? You can get so far by yourself, however professional guidance can make all the difference. With a network of tutors right across the UK and rates starting from as little as £15 per hour, visit mgrmusic.com now to get started. Now it's time for our regular good cause slot. This week it's Neville Staple.
So I would say Musicians Against Homelessness.
Oh, brilliant.
They themselves are not actually a charity, but they give all money raised by young bands, new bands, up and coming bands, raise money that way, and they put it out to crisis So they help
yeah.
kids and people on the street.
So that's a good one to support.
Yeah, that's a very good one.
Excellent, thank you
We're
very
doing
much.
we're doing a CD with them. I might as well plug it.
Yeah, yeah.
We've got a CD coming out within the next couple of months, and that's got a lot of musicians, including ourselves, that put songs in there, and it gets to raise money. It's called Kids on the Street.
Find out more about Musicians Against Homelessness at crisis.org.uk, where there's some articles about how Emma Rule launched the programme and its success to date. Now, on with the episode.
One of the things I really wanted to focus on, mainly because of who you are, is identity. Because Specials, Two-Tone, Original Rude Boy, I think identity for new bands is important to get right. How important is it for you to have your identity as you are? Well, I guess the Original Rude Boy.
It's hard one to. It's hard for me to answer that one. I think because I'm in it. So it's just hard.
I think that's exactly it, because Neville is an original Rude Boy.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? I'm an original Rude Girl.
Yeah.
You know, we grew up with it. It's in our bones. It's in our lives. We were born into ska and reggae, and then Two-Tone infused a lot with punk, which I loved as a kid. So I think when you put all of that together, that you become that.
Yeah.
You know, you are that. So there's no, but I do think there's a lot of bands out there that we've had some young people. I also run a festival called Skarmouth myself. That's a sideline, and I get a lot of young bands come for Skarmouth, and they think, we fit with that genre, and we have everything from ska, reggae, mod music.
Yeah, that
and all
mixes
that kind
up
of
a
thing.
bit, doesn't it?
But some of those young bands, they haven't actually got an identity. They think they're that. They think they're that. So you can either be mixed genres and just perform
just
what you want.
Just make your mind up when you want it. Yeah.
Or fit with a fashion and stick with it.
But at the same
because
time,
otherwise you confuse people, don't you?
Yeah. At the same time, you've got to find one, because you might want to play at a ska festival, but you don't play ska. So it's got to be difficult then to understand that. Just find your identity and go with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think I could put it any better myself.
Yeah.
We didn't struggle so much with our identity, but we just didn't. I don't think
We didn't gel.
What did you actually do?
We
Tell
were
us
like,
about you.
we were like,
let's interview you. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, so we had our own identity, and we did gel. We were a close-knit gang, the four of us, and it was only ever worked, the four of us. But you know, so we were like mid-2000s.
Yeah.
We wanted to be the Clash. We wanted to be Supergrass. We wanted to be a mixture of punk, indie, Britpop.
Yeah, nice.
But then when people reviewed us, they kept saying that we sounded like Joy Division.
Okay. You didn't know what you want to be.
We liked those bands, but we thought we would.
That's not what you planned.
I love those bands, but I never.
No, that's not what you wanted to
So maybe
sound
that's
like.
you've actually answered your own question then. Tell the young people of today that are setting up a band, get some professionals in the business to actually listen to a live set and tell you what they think.
Yes. Yeah. That's a good way to do it.
Before you pigeonhole yourself into that genre.
That's how we go with it as well.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. So, also because you've been in the industry for so long, I'm interested in the business side of it. I know you've got your manager here as well.
Yeah.
But has the whole record company management side of it changed? I'm sure it's changed a lot in the last 40 years, but how much did they try and, did they probably try to influence your identity?
They definitely did try it, but if you know what you want to do, you fight on. But some bands couldn't do that. Plus, it's rather good. In the punk days, you used to get the managers ripping the bands off, because the band just wanted to be doing music. It's a lot different now.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the record labels now, they're there more as a platform of their knowledge, and for particularly their knowledge of distribution. Because nowadays, obviously, anyone can just go online, put your music up and sell it.
Yeah.
You know, sell it or share it or give it out as a freebie, whatever you want to do. It's it's at your fingertips now, isn't it?
Well, that's what's spoiling it down, this computer thing. But mind you, I'm still not on computer. But that's
You're
what
not bad. You're getting better. You see tweets and Facebook and all that. Yeah.
But the computer now, online stuff is really cramping up the live music, and for new bands, it's kind of hard. I mean, you've got this Simon Cowell thing. They make a hit for 3 months and then that's it.
Yeah, everyone wants like an instant hit nowadays, which
you
is
can't
a
do
shame
that.
because you need to do your craft. You need to do the pub crawl. You need to do, go and do gigs that are going to not make you much money, but get you a little bit of a band fan base going, and build it up in your local area, then spread out to the next area and do your craft. But a lot of that doesn't happen now because everyone wants instant hits.
Instant hit, which is quite difficult nowadays. It's not like when I was a lad.
Yeah.
What do you mean, yeah? It's not like when I was a lad, it was easier.
Yeah.
When I say easier, you
still had to do all your long haul, didn't you?
Your long haul. I mean, we were driving around in transit vans, up and down. We'd really worked on our craft, to be honest with you.
Yeah. But it was easier as in getting out there, and you made money easier when you did have hit records. You had that physical, something that people would buy, and some people just wanted to collect that next cover, that next album.
Yeah, but you lose that now because everything can just go online and get it.
Yeah, and just get it.
There's no rarities like.
Which is why touring's great.
Yeah. That's where everything happens.
Cool. So one of the other things, and I'm just conscious of time there. One of the other things that we always talk about, because we spoke to a tour manager who said, try and get as many of your friends on board to tour manager, because they know they can take the pressure off you. They know what you like, what you don't like. Maybe you've got a friend who's a photographer. Try to get your friends involved. Yeah. So now an awkward question, but how is it with having your wife involved?
It's a lot better. Don't get ripped off.
Yeah.
All the managers.
To leave the
room. All the managers I've had throughout the whole year, from the start, especially from Bernie Rose right down to the manager from the last reunion. I can't say nothing too good about them.
Right.
Because I don't know. Because when I went into it, I was just going into it for the music side. Now I've got my wife; she can really steer me properly on it.
Yeah, I think it's a case of having someone who's really got your best interests at heart.
Yeah.
And he has had some decent managers in the past and through the years, because obviously he is where he is now. But yes, I totally agree with you. When we've looked back through a lot of the things,
but
so many things could have been better. So it is important for the young bands out there to pick the right managers.
Well, you see, when I was doing it, they're all dodgy. But I didn't know that at the time. You don't know that at the time. You're just there because you love the music. But at the other time, they know what they're doing, and this is a good lad. He listens to what we say.
Yeah.
And it was very difficult. It's only now I've got a great manager who can say, "Oh, do that. Oh, if you do that, it'd be best to do it that way." But before it was like, do it that way, do it that way, do it that way.
And he didn't think really whether it was actually in his best interest or not.
Yeah.
So he lost out on a lot, particularly money.
Yeah. And you can still have your fun on stage as well every night.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
yes.
Brilliant. Well, that's been great. There's a lot of stuff that I've got there. There's two things we normally do at the end of each interview now, Alan.
Say who you are.
So, the key thing that I always do is that every podcast, we can't really give much back to yourself because we're just starting out DIY, but we always like to highlight a charity or good cause.
Quiet, please.
Highlight a charity or good cause of the week that is close to yourselves that we can highlight on our podcast and put all the links out so people can support it. So just to give you a warning, I'll ask that in 2 minutes just in case nothing comes to your head straight away. But I'd also like to do a quick fire questions, just because I like to get a bit more.
Yeah, go on.
Those quick questions. So, what song out of every song that's ever been written?
Are you aiming this just at Neville, or do we both throw in? Oh, we both throw in. Okay, go on then.
What song do you wish you had written out of every song that's ever been produced ever?
Valerie.
I would say, I don't know.
Probably Monkey Man, because everyone always begs for that at every show.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's quite difficult for me, to be honest with you.
It's a hard question, I do apologise.
Oh yeah.
So, which artist made you want to become an artist, performer, a singer?
There's
Neville.
There's Catlights. When I was growing up, we used to listen to a lot of them. Yeah.
Cool. And what was the first album you ever fell in love with?
Tighten Up.
Mine was actually Clint Eastwood and General Saint.
Right.
Yeah, their first ever album. Yeah.
Mine was Tighten Up.
Yeah.
First gig you ever went to?
Ooh.
First gig was at the Police Ballroom. It was Jimmy Cliff.
Nice.
At the Police Ballroom in
I think mine
Coventry.
was Carol Thompson. It was a Lovers Rock gig.
Right. And the last quick question, what is the best bit of all of this that you do?
I was just having fun and just enjoying it non-stop, wouldn't stop.
Right then, another very fine interview. I like this, Neville comes from a different era to us, and a lot of people not everyone, but a lot of people listening to the show, and certainly a different era to a lot of people who are just starting out in the music business. But there's a lot of things that still ring true.
Oh,
such
totally.
as if you're clearly enjoying yourself on stage, that just conveys itself to the crowd and the audience massively.
Totally.
Just as true today as it ever has been.
Yeah, and if you ever go and see footage from when the specials started, and now if you see Neville and his band, all the specials, the crowd are loving it. They're just loving it, and I think the music's just got that. It's got a lovely balance of being really politically charged, but you can dance to it. A bit like what Paul Smith from Maximo was talking about.
Yeah.
The right political disco tunes.
Yeah.
I just like that fact that he likes to see the crowd. He can see the generations of the family watching him.
Yeah.
From the granddad, grandmother who found the specials back in the 70s to the grandkids who are skanking at the front. And I do love a skank.
I remember when you ripped your shorts.
I was going to mention that, like, R.I.P. those shorts. They were skanked to death. They really were.
That was brutal.
It was. But they reached a higher plane with that.
Yeah.
But thank you again to Neville and Christine for talking to us. They were great company, and they really, really were engaged when I was talking to them. Like they were loving the concept. And Shauna from the PR company from putting me in touch and getting this sorted. So that was great. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So on to next week. We have the full interview with MGR Music, our partner for season 2, the founder of that fantastic organisation, Matthew Rusk. All of the show notes for today's episode can be found at acpgmusic.com, along with our back catalogue of episodes. If you like what you hear, or perhaps have some improvements or specific guests you'd like us to consider, we'd love to hear from you. Email us at info@acpgmusic.com or hit us up on social media. Keep supporting upcoming artists, and we'll catch you next time.